Robbie, congratulations. Of course, you've had big victories throughout your career, but all week long, this felt like a special fight. A big moment in the sport. So, what does this victory mean to you? How are you feeling right now?
I feel good. My camp at Sanford MMA did a great job getting me ready for this fight. Jason Jackson pushed me and imitated Nick Diaz to a T, so I was ready to go. I was in shape, and I felt good.
It's awesome. The speed obviously was clearly a difference earlier. Were you expecting to have that type of advantage? I mean, we hadn't seen him fight in 6 years, right? So did that play out the difference in speed as you expected, or was it a little surprising?
No, I thought I'd be a little faster. I've been working on my skills. I had 10 weeks to get ready for them. I didn't gain a whole bunch of weight as soon as I knew. It's not like I started eating junk food. I kept it pretty similar weight-wise. I probably weighed about 183 in the ring and just kept. I knew I was in shape, so I was just going to press the pace, and he likes to fight on the inside and close, and so do I. So he obliged, and we put on a nice show for the fans.
Definitely was. You mentioned the pace. It was pretty crazy, especially considering that you guys were scheduled for 5 rounds, right? So, I mean, was there any part, I know you said you were in shape, but as this thing's playing out, are you like, we got to slow down a little bit here?
No, I was just going to keep going. I think my corner and Lentz was like, man, you're freaking going at a pace. But as soon as I went out there, I was like huffing and puffing in between rounds. But as soon as we went out there, like I was feeling good and just letting them fly. And Nick was doing a good job mixing it up, and it was a fun fight.
Yeah, no doubt. Very fun. Ending sequence was a little unique, right? It's not something we'd expect to see. Did you know that you had hurt him bad, and did you realize kind of what was happening at that point?
I felt like it was an accumulation, but I think I caught him with like a little check hook and then caught him with a left after that. And then when he went down, I hit him with an uppercut. But I think he wanted me to follow him down, and I was like, let's continue the freaking fun stuff.
Is there any disappointment that it ended that way? I mean, or is it happy that you kind of made him quit, basically?
No, it's he's a warrior. I mean, that was a rough fight. He was standing right there in the pocket. I throw hard shots, and he was taking them, and it was a lot of damage. Like when you go back and watch the fight, it was a war, a 3-round war, and I hit pretty hard, and just wasn't his night.
No doubt. Last thing for me, you said that this one got you up, this one got you motivated, excited again. So where do you go from here? I mean, are there other matchups like this that will excite you in the same way?
Yeah, I'm sure the UFC will come up with something and talk to Dave Martin, and we'll figure it out. And Sanford MMA is going to get me ready for my fight, and I'll be ready to fight whoever.
Rob, to your left. Congratulations. I walked in a little bit late, so did he seem any slower that you remember before? Like he didn't seem to have the same snap that he maybe had, earlier in his career?
I don't really know because I wasn't. It was a feeling thing. He was long, and a lot of the stuff he does, he never really had fast hands. He would use his body to kind of cover that distance, so he leans a little bit more. So it's not necessarily fast hands. It's more timing and that type of stuff. And he slaps and he does stuff. He was never really a fast puncher, so I wasn't too worried. And I was trying to smother him and try to not take too much damage out there.
And I heard you referencing the finish. He seemed like maybe his knee fell underneath him, or did you break his nose, or was it just the fact that he had had enough, do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, it was a rough fight. Hats off to him, and I mean, I don't know what to say.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be fighting a guy 17 years apart? I mean, that's...
No, I did not think I was going to fight him, and then 2 months ago when they offered me the fight, I was like, all right, like this fight gets me excited. I mean, but I don't think everyone expected to see me the way I was today. I think they thought they were going to see the guy who's been fighting for the last 1.5, 2 years, and that wasn't who showed up today, and I spoiled some plans.
Right here. You're now 5-0 in rematches. Is there something specific that gets you? Like, is it just training harder going into these rematches, knowing you spent time against these previous opponents, and now you know what to expect the next time you face them?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to prove that you're better than the last time you fought, and that's how I always take these fights. Like, that wasn't my best. I'm going to show you what my best is. And tonight was my night. I mean, Nick put on a hell of a performance. It was a hell of a show, and we went at it, and hats off to him. He's freaking a killer.
And I think all week we've seen the promos, the past fight. He was doing a lot of talking, and he's saying he was trying to psych you out in that fight. Did he say anything to you during the fight this time, 17 years later?
I have no idea. I couldn't hear anything. I was just going out there trying to have fun and, like, push the pace and get in there and make it a war.
Then finally, what did you two say to each other after the fight? I saw you, like, lean down to him right when the ref waved it off.
I just said thank you for bringing the best out of me, and I have a lot of respect for you, and hopefully your life is going to get together and, like, good things are going to happen to you. He's a hell of a guy. He's a nice guy. He's a freaking warrior, and you, in this sport and in sports in general, you want the best for your opponents and the athletes that you see around you. So I like him.
Robbie, just following on from that, Nick is obviously a fan favorite. You're obviously a big fan of Nick. Would you like to see him fight again?
That's up to Nick. That's up to the UFC. I mean, you never know what people are going through. I'm a guy on the outside looking in, and I'm not trying to freaking solve anyone's problems or freaking. I think that's for you guys to, like, label and figure out. I don't, like, let people do their thing. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna go hide out at home and hang out with my kids and mind my own business.
Robbie, to your right over here. Having fought Colby Covington and seen the first fight with Usman, just curious what your thoughts are on the rematch.
It's a good fight. Colby brings it. I mean, it's Usman brings it. He's getting better, and I mean, I think the fans are excited to see it.
Any prediction?
Nope, that's not my game.
Congrats.
Sorry, Robbie. You were consistent all week, and every time you were asked, saying you're not paying attention to the other stuff. You don't care what he does. But in retrospect, like, was this a crazy week? You land, you find out it's a different weight. Like, he's doing, whatever he's doing on that side. Like, was it a weird week for you to kind of go through?
No, I knew that they were looking to do that. Like Saturday, that they were talking about doing the 185, and I was just showing up, and I couldn't really add too much weight because I had already did what I did to my body, and I had already lost 15 pounds and was on my way down. So I didn't try to add too much weight back on, just kept with kind of the same diet. But you never know what's going to happen in this sport. I can only control so much, so that's what I focused on, what I could control, which was my mind, training with my training partners and coaches, getting me ready for this fight, and I wasn't too worried about the hoopla.
Was there ever a thought that you weren't going to say yes to that?
I'm not answering that.
And I know one of the other things you said is you didn't pay attention to the stuff he was saying, but he said he didn't want this fight. He doesn't know how it even happened. Like, were you aware that he said that, and how did that make you feel?
Oh, I mean, he's hyping the fight, doing what he does, and I don't really care what anyone says. Like, I think my coaches and training partners are like, hey, look what he's saying, but I don't care. Like, I don't care what guys are saying. It does not matter to me. Like, I'm worried about myself and what I'm doing.
And just how good are you feeling right now, like having a win, being able to build out this and keep going?
I feel good. I mean, really it was the camp that I fell back on. Even though they moved it up to 185, my camp went well. My mindset was good. My body felt good. So that's why the weight issue wasn't a big deal to me, because I was ready.
And the last thing, he came out obviously, kind of an explosive move right out of the start with the spin, but then he kind of just laid back and let you hit him a couple of times. Do you think he was trying to get a feel for the fight again? Is that what he was trying to settle into?
I'm not sure what he was doing. He was probably trying to figure it out, feel, see if he could take some shots and what he could handle. And he took some good shots and gave some good shots and tried to figure it out. It just wasn't his night tonight.
Thanks, man.
Robbie, you snapped the longest losing streak of your career. How does that feel?
I don't know. It just feels like I won today, and I'm freaking excited about it. I mean, I'm excited to go home and chill, but I put together a good training camp. It's nice to get a win, and you're only as good as your last fight, right? So that's what I focus on.
And finally, you kind of alluded, like earlier, you said that the Robbie from a year ago or 2 years ago wasn't there tonight. Was it Nick Diaz who brought the Robbie Lawler, violent, ruthless Robbie Lawler out?
I think it was accumulation of stuff. I mean, my training camp, my coach, Nick Lentz, Henry Hoof, Jason Jackson, just getting me ready for the fight. But yeah, he definitely got me excited, and yeah, I mean, it was all of the above. I was ready to fight, and I was ready to prove that I'm better than what people have been seeing.
Congrats.
Thank you.